there's a silver lining through the dark clouds shining. Turn the dark clouds inside out till the boys come home. There's a silver lining through the dark clouds shining. Turn the dark clouds inside out till the boys come home.
Oh, very good.
Thank you, sir.
Dave, West, you have something that...
You know, Frank, speaking of the war, they're coming out with a new movie about the Iraqi Air Force. It's starring Cheech and Chong. It's called Up in Smoke.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Now, actually, Dave, West, you're a big comic book collector. And actually, Tiny Tim was a big comic book collector,
Well,
right?
I remember in the late 30s, early 40s, I had the first 22 issues of Captain America. That's when he had a shield, which was pointed. And the first issue... Then
Triangular.
Right.
Triangular
Thanks.
shield.
And then they turned it into a round little shield. After that, I had the 2nd to 7th issue, 6th issue of Marvel Comics. I never got the first issue. I remember Prize, Jumbo, Jungle, Planet Comics, Ranger Comics, Fight Comics, Blue Bolts, Daredevil, had them all. It was a great period of time, a great period of, you know, it was a great fantasy for the city.
Right.
And for the world. And if you notice today, all the Buck Rogers ideas, the computers today are the robots in the comic books going back 40, 50 years ago. The same with the flying saucer. I remember Spy Smasher used to be one of the comic characters of the time. If I remember correctly, had a round little disc, you know, in the air too. So it's amazing to see how, you know, these subconscious gifts that, you know, the good Lord gave to man is now coming true in reality, going back even 100 years ago, from the days of Jules Verne, when he invented, you know, the submarine.
Edgar Rice Burroughs, Tarzan.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, you see, you learned lots of things with Beyond Vaudeville. I guess Mr. Wolf, I think, maybe had to go to do his...
Yeah, because you embarrassed him.
All right, David. Oh, I wasn't sitting next to him, was I, David? Was I? Maybe you?
You could ask him some normal questions like the ones I gave you.
Okay. Well...
Body in arsenic and old lace.
All right. Well, why don't we bring out our next...
By the way, does anybody got a spare bottle of arsenic and old lace? I think this guy can use it.
Thank you, David. Maybe you should become the permanent host, co-host.
We'll talk salary after the show.
Okay, sounds good to me, David West, that is. Okay, well, let's introduce our next guest.
Ooh, tension.
Okay, it's all right. Let's introduce our next guest, and Tim, just have to get your mic there. Okay. Now, our next guests are quite well known and actually making a very big comeback. And we'd like to introduce, please, the one and only Chordettes. Okay. Lynn, you'd like to maybe have a seat there. The microphone. Okay. It's very complicated here.
Yes. Sit on each other's lap. Do we hook these into ourselves someplace?
Well, who's the primary spokesman?
She's the big
woman.
mouth here.
Okay.
I am.
All right. Well, maybe she should have the mic so we could definitely hear everything. I apologize for my co-host and his little outburst there. But let's bring things back now to some normal things. Now,
okay.
Now, you started in 1946 from Wisconsin?
Well, yes, in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and sang for barbershop shows all over the Midwest and so on. And in 1949, went on the Talent Scout show, Arthur Godfrey show.
Godfrey, right?
Yeah, and won that show. Interesting, the fellow that lost was Wally Cox. You remember Mr. Peepers?
And the underdog also, he did the
yes.
voice.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, he was great talent, great talent.
Now, from there, so you stayed with them for 4 years with the Arthur Godfrey program, right? And
yes, we were there about 4 years, and Archie Blyer was the musical director of the show. And when he left and formed his Cadence Record Company, we went with him. And I think we were a barbershop quartet
Okay.
first. And so when we went with Archie, we did 2 recordings, and the second recording we did with musical accompaniment was Mr. Sandman, and then after that we were just all over the place.
And that was, so now you mentioned the barbershop and Mr. Sandman, and maybe if you could share a little of that with the audience, would that be possible?
Well, we'll do a little bit of Sandman, okay?
Oh, great.
Maybe you'll leave your pal up here.
Well, don't worry about him, Dave. All right, let's concentrate now.
Well, let's see how, yeah. Do you all have mics? Do you have a mic?
I don't know which one ended up on this one.
Do we all need mics, by the way?
It'll pick.
Can you hear me
Yeah,
here?
everyone
Will they pick it up?
Pick up.
Bum 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 bum. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Bum 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 bum. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Bum 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 bum. Give him 2 lips like roses and clover, and tell him that his lonesome nights are over.
Oh, very good. Very good. Now, Mr. Tim, do you do that song in your act?
No, I don't, but that was fantastic.
Okay.
That was fantastic.
Well, you know, he plays the ukulele, and that was one of the instruments that Godfrey always loved to play.
Right.
Remember, Tim? Remember?
I learned it from him.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you had some other hits, the Lollipop song. That was
Yeah,
a
we
big
had
hit, right?
Lollipop and Born to Be With You, Eddie My Love, Soft Sands. I think the last one we did before we went on, what's that word?
Just between you and me.
Hiatus?
Oh, no.
I don't like to say retire. We retired at 64. But that last number that we did was Never on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
so
with the a Monday, a Sunday. That song with
yeah,
the.
yes, it was considered kind of suggestive at that time.
Oh, okay. Now, and also the Mr. Sandman now has become very popular once again. It's been used in the car ad.
Yes, the Jeep Chrysler commercial. They've used it. It's been in several movies. It's going to be in a new movie with Whoopi Goldberg, Long Walk Home, I believe it is. It just has a life of its own.
It's certainly,
you know.
it's almost 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It doesn't
right.
even have arthritis yet.
Now the Chordettes can be contacted, and I wanted to give the address. So if you get your pens and paper handy, it's Class Act Enterprises Limited at P.O. Box 272, Merrick, New York 11566. And now, are you all from Merrick or no? Is that the?
Well, no. A couple of us are from New Jersey. Nancy and Doris are from New Jersey. Jean, right over there.
Okay.
Jean lives in the city. Live on Long Island.
Okay. Now, Tiny, you're living in New York nowadays, right? And you don't want to leave New York at all, or?
Hello.
I'm always dealing with work anyway, from here to Australia, so this is just the base, when I'm here.
Okay. Tiny, do you know any of the Chordette songs that you could share, or you?
Well, Mr. Sandman was, the world knows it. I mean, I'm not trying to make you feel that. The greatest singing group, for women in the 50s. I mean, they just mentioned Born to Lose. Was that the one?
Born to Be With You.
Born to Lose is Ray Charles.
What was the one, the Lollipop song?
Lollipop, right.
Is that Lollipop? Lollipop?
Yes, yes. That was in Stand By Me.
Unbelievable. Success. I remember hearing them all and seeing them all in '53. I used to go down to Mr. Godfrey shows and watch them with Archie Blyer. This was the #1 selling group.
Now, actually, Mr. Tim, it was in your bio, but they wouldn't let you go anymore, though, right?
Mr.
They threw you out.
Asked me to leave after seeing 5 shows in a row.
Oh.
That was back in 1950, and he was the first one to have the top of the morning Tonight Show type of format. He was, in my opinion, a great charismatic radio figure, as well as television. And of course, in a sense, I deserve to be kicked out because I asked people every day, and a little obnoxious. I don't blame him for that. The man was a tight, very strict, man. He also, in my opinion, was troubled by his leg. which
Oh.
she had that
Yeah,
accident
well, he had a
going
hip-
back
he
years.
had a hip problem,
Thanks.
right.
And also, but as my opinion, you know, since you're so nostalgic in your show, Mr. Blake, it is my opinion that there are certain no-nos in this business where the shadow of Cain comes upon you, and from then on you're a marked person. And I still believe that the firing of Julius LaRosa was the end of Mr. Godfrey's career, because I remember right after that, maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, you could get all the tickets you wanted before you had to wait months in line. And the same, as it happened so many times in this business, on Radio with Uncle Don, you know, and years later, you know, with Lou Wares in the 40s when he didn't join the service.
Okay.
So there are shadows of Cain in this business that can kill a career. Unfortunately, in my opinion, Mr. Godfrey's career died when he fired LaRosa.
Okay.
The press came upon him immensely.
Yeah,
Did you
well,
say something, Frank?
Well, I just want to say maybe I should fire David right on this show.
Which David?
No, not you, David. David. Okay, David. Just all right. Now, okay. Now, Nancy Overton is Nancy. You
Hi.
did the pop on the lollipop song, right?
Yeah.
Which
It
everyone
doesn't work
remembers.
every time, but usually it does. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Now,
that's lovely, Nancy.
now, just we do have one more guest to bring out before we go on, and it's a regular guest on the show, of course, and it's Joey the monkey. He's going to do a dance for us, and it's the music.
Hi.
Is the music ready for Joey? Maybe.
There's a man of mystery roaming through this land. Oh, far and near you hear of him. He's found on every hand. Oh, every city, town, and village knows this boy by now. There's a way to recognize him. Let me tell you how. If you're past midnight dark, beside a graveyard ghost, if someone whistles, that's a serious note. Or on some dark and stormy night, while the tempest blows, if someone whistles, that's a serious note. He sees all, knows all.
Okay,
gets
maybe that's
it
enough, Joey.
everywhere. Some
Thank you, Joey.
night he might.
Okay, well, now everything is under control here, I think. Now, Mr. Tim, you actually performed very early on at the Hubert's place on 42nd
That's
Street,
right.
right?
I was there in '57, I think. That's when the voice was really high for a week. And they announced me as the body of a man and the voice of a bird. That's when I sang Don't remember me, but I remember you. 'Twas not so long ago, you and I were through. Tears on my pillow. And they had, the Lou Anthony song. And basically, they came in and paid 25 cents just to hear the voice.
Now, by the other acts, there were some, there was a flea circus there, right? And
Yeah, they had Hubert's, they had 25 fleas trained to music. They were dancing to music. They also had the elephant lady with feet exactly like an elephant. They had a man playing Anchors Away on 10 glasses. And it was an hour show for 25 cents. Everyone sang for about, did whatever they did for about maybe a minute or two. I got paid $25 a week. 65. Whatever.
did I fool you, Miss Evans? That's
Yes,
the,
you
the
did.
dark man guy.
Who was that?
Tiny, now you also were a messenger, right? Early on, and that was at the MGM place.
That was the greatest place. I was at 1540 Broadway. I was there about 51 to 52. It was a great thrill. That was the movies, were still movies. They had a low state there. I happened to meet up there Paul Henry, who played Bette Davis and now Voyager, and so many others there. Also, Forrest Tucker came in there. May he rest in peace. What a great actor. And the same
From the
with-
F Troop show, right?
right.
Right. Okay.
Great actor. And also, I didn't meet her, but Vera Ellen came in. The